During UFC 313, ESPN Plus experienced significant streaming issues, preventing many fans and fighters from watching the event. ESPN ended up offering the main card for free for all ESPN Plus subscribers due to the issues. In the days following the event, the New York Post reported that TKO and UFC executives were absolutely furious over the situation. ESPN later released a statement addressing the matter. It reads, "Unfortunately, we experienced a technical issue that impacted purchases of the UFC pay-per-view on ESPN Plus shortly after 10 p.m. Our teams identified and resolved the issue, restoring full functionality ahead of the main event. We apologize for the inconvenience and are taking steps to ensure a better experience in the future." Now, Brendan Schaub has suggested that ESPN may have intentionally caused the UFC 313 streaming issues. With the UFC and ESPN's broadcast deal set to expire soon, Schaub believes the situation could have been a strategic negotiation tactic by ESPN. On his podcast, Schaub said the whole ESPN Plus, the pay-per-view not working, they're in negotiations for their broadcast rights right now. If you think that wasn't on purpose, you're out of your mind. That's ESPN, who doesn't give a flying f*** about the UFC really. They're in turmoil. But if you don't think that's a flex from them, I've never had issues with them. Now all of a sudden during rights negotiations, issues just pop up. That's someone going, "Oh, really? You want to play hardball? This is what your numbers will look like without us." That's what I think with a tinfoil hat on. Never had issues. All of a sudden, half the f***ing world has issues. That's weird. During negotiations, that's weird. Fight announcements. Curtis Blaydes vs. Rizvan Kuniev has been rebooked for UFC Qatar on May 17th. The two were originally set to fight at UFC 313, but Blaydes withdrew just hours before the event due to illness. Blaydes is aiming to bounce back from a first-round knockout loss to Tom Aspinall in July, while Kuniev will make his UFC debut, following a first-round TKO victory over Hugo Cunha on Dana White's Contender Series. Conor McGregor has reached out to Joe Rogan, expressing interest in appearing as a guest on his podcast. Last night, Conor wrote, "What's up, Joe Rogan? My man, I messaged you. Are you looking for a guest on the podcast? I have a great one for you." Speaking of Conor McGregor, Conor attended a Limp Bizkit concert in Dublin, Ireland last night and was loudly booed.
It sounds like you're in love with Conor McGregor here. And I'll be straight with you. From what I heard, he's actually out there right now. John Otto, let's go.
Leon Edwards is eager to avenge his loss to Belal Muhammad. Ahead of his fight against Sean Brady at UFC London, Leon says despite recently losing to Belal via unanimous decision in July, he still believes he's the better fighter.
I'd love to run it back with Belal. You know, I feel like it's difficult to say he wins. Like I said, I probably prefer Belal because he was the last guy to defeat me. You know, and even though I had an off night, I feel like that's one I need to get back. You know, I truly believe that I'm the better fighter between me and him, and go out there and prove it again. But now I'm focusing on Sean. Focusing on Sean Brady right now, and I go out there in London, get rid of him, and then once I get rid of him, then Tarsha is next to me.
Jamahal Hill believes Magomed Ankalaev's victory over Alex Pereira was clear-cut, despite many arguing that Pereira deserved to win. Jamahal says he expects the UFC to schedule an immediate rematch without question.
Pereira had small moments. Like, there was no real big moment. What moment was there where he actually landed a shot and actually it had the effect, like whenever Magomed hit him on the couple instances where he was able to time a counter and hit Pereira and knock him backwards. We didn't see many of those. Plus, Pereira wore the damage a little bit more on his face than Ankalaev did. So ultimately, yeah, I think he won. But like I was saying, with those kicks, though, I believe, and there will be an immediate rematch. Oh, no question, they're going to do an immediate rematch. I was told back whenever he fought Khalil, if Khalil had to beat him, there was going to be an immediate rematch. So in that, they're going to do a rematch. Now, would I judge the fight the same as I did this one? I don't know, we'll have to see, we'll have to check out the thing, but because Pereira's definitely gonna have to make some adjustments. And I believe the biggest adjustment he can do is go back to his kickboxing base with him. Work that kickboxing a little more. He was strong, he showed that he could stop him from taking him down. But working behind those kicks and setups, the kicks, I think the danger of the kicks from Alex will be a bigger thing and be more effective in this fight against Ankalaev. But yeah, like I was saying, I was right. I was wrong. I'm not mad. And then people have asked me, like, am I happy that Alex lost? No, I'm not happy that Alex lost. I mean, I didn't really care who won one way or the other. Alex is a big star. He brings a lot of attention to our division. So, you know what I mean? There's something we all gained something from him being the champion. You know what I mean? It's now Ankalaev's turn. It's his turn to build that star, try to build that star and everything like that. You know what I mean? Before I get up there and put these things up on him. But ultimately, it is what it is.
Anthony Smith is set to make his final walk to the octagon at UFC Kansas City next month, where he will face Zhang Mingyang, who is riding an 11-fight winning streak. Ahead of the bout, Smith has firmly stated that this will be his last fight, emphasizing that there will be no comeback after this one. In an interview with MMAfighting.com, Smith said, "I probably stuck around too long already, if we're being honest. Probably since maybe the Ryan Spann fight, I started telling my team and my family and my wife, like, I'm having a lot of fun, but it's just taking up a lot of time. It comes down to being a dad and being a husband, and kind of just checking into that part of my life. Not that I'm not checked in. I'm super involved with everything that goes on. I almost never miss anything, but it'd be nice to slow that part of it down and not have that part of the responsibility. That's kind of when it started. I kept saying 3 or 4 more fights, and then that 3 or 4 just kept getting pushed back. I'd fight again and it's like 3 or 4 more, and then I'd fight again, and probably 3 or 4 more fights. I said that but didn't start ticking them off. Then it just got rough. It got rough. It just started to feel like the ups and downs weren't worth it anymore. I love the fight part of it. There's nothing I enjoy doing more than walking into the octagon and fighting. It's everything that surrounds it that I'm not willing to do anymore." Anthony Smith just recently lost to Dominic Reyes via TKO in the second round in December. He says he does not want to end his career on that note. He continued, "I definitely wanted one more, really because I didn't want to go out like I did the last one. I'm not even saying I need a guaranteed win. I just wanted more favorable circumstances. I wanted to know. I wanted to do it on my own terms, and they were super open and willing to make that happen, and were able to get me close to home. It was a great conversation. It's final. It's really just because it's not about fighting itself. It's about everything that surrounds it that I'm just not willing to do anymore. My kids deserve it. My children deserve not to have this thing all the time and just not have me constantly waiting on the next big thing. Really just checking into them. You have to structure your life a certain way when you live this life, and I'm ready to just not do that anymore and ready to just be as close to a normal human as I possibly can. Now, I'm not saying if there was like an Anderson Silva Chael Sonnen boxing match in nowhere Brazil that popped up in some years or something that I wouldn't be willing to do that. But in terms of fighting for a living and this being my full-time gig, not anymore. No, I'm done." Michael Bisping disagrees with the idea that Alex Pereira was robbed at UFC 313. He believes Magomed Ankalaev was the clear winner and personally scored the fight 4-1 in Ankalaev's favor.
In round 5, the one that's in question there, and it's crazy because 2 judges did give it to Alex Pereira, which I do find kind of wild. I thought it was a shutout, 4-1. Pereira takes the first, and then he gets it. Was it the best fight? No. Was it a domination? No. But if you had to score it for someone, I think Ankalaev was the one going forward, the one pressuring, the one trying to get the takedowns, the one controlling up against the fence, the one landing big knees, and certainly the one landing the bigger, more relevant punches and landing more of them. He was ahead on the strike count. But in the 5th round, he landed a couple of good knees. He had some control time. He landed a couple of good right hands. Pereira threw like 1 or 2 shots. I think he had a good jab. But I watched it back last night. I had it Magomed Ankalaev all day long. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Following his unanimous decision loss to Justin Gaethje at UFC 313, Rafael Fiziev is contemplating moving down to the featherweight division. Fiziev appeared on the Ariel Helwani show yesterday and went on to say, "I'm thinking right now about changing weight divisions. I'm starting to think about changing weight divisions because I really cut weight very easy this time, and this was short notice. It was very easy. All this week, my nutritionist Jason, he tried to gain my weight because my weight go low so fast. Right now, I have to think about it. I want to fight with the top guys, some of the top guys. All of those guys in the top 10 are interesting. These guys are in trouble if I come here. They will be in trouble. Everybody." After witnessing Magomed Ankalaev's victory over Alex Pereira, Daniel Cormier now doubts whether Pereira has the strength to compete in the heavyweight division. Before the fight, Dana White had stated that if Pereira won, he would move up to challenge the winner of Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall if that fight materialized. However, after Pereira's performance at UFC 313, DC has lost confidence in his ability to succeed at heavyweight. On Good Guy, Bad Guy, DC said, "When we watched Saturday and we watched him and Ankalaev fight, I think he's kind of maxed out the weight he can go up. I don't think he's strong enough to go with anyone bigger, because the amount of pressure that Ankalaev was able to generate without the danger coming back at him like we expected, those heavyweights would just kind of walk right through what he was throwing at him. One thing we can all agree, whatever Pereira does next will be for a world title." But he's talking about UFC middleweight champion Dricus du Plessis. That's not going to happen. I'm talking about Tom Aspinall. Dana White got on board with that a little bit. Now it looks like they're settled back down. But he's not going to go and jump and agree to that fight unless he believes he can change the outcome. I'm curious what he felt, because his hands simply weren't landing. His calf kicks were, his defense was on point, he got outboxed, and I think that was a surprise for everybody. But it was that same shot, it was that same slip outside, throw a left hand, rush him into the fence, it was that same rinse and repeat that maybe if he worked on that one sequence, he could have some better moments. After securing a unanimous decision victory over Rafael Fiziev over the weekend, Justin Gaethje appears to be demanding a title shot against Islam Makhachev next. On X, he wrote, "I won 3 out of my last 4, only losing in an exhibition fight. I have to fight for the belt. At Dana White, I am ready." Now, fans were quick to note that this post didn't sound like something Gaethje would typically say, sparking speculation that his manager Ali Abdelaziz may have posted it on his behalf. This user writes, "I love how you can immediately tell which tweets are written by Ali Abdelaziz. Shut the f up, Ali." And this classic photoshopped photo of Ali holding a bunch of phones. What do you guys think? Does Gaethje deserve the next lightweight title shot? Post your thoughts in the comments. Colby Covington mocked Justin Gaethje yesterday on his Twitch live stream.
Yeah, Poirier got knocked out like that by duck lip Gaethje. He's got a duck lip. Quack, quack, quack. Quack, quack, quack. I'm Justin Gaethje. I get hit in the head a lot, but I got a duck lip.
Paddy Pimblett had words for Dustin Poirier today. Paddy has responded to Dustin saying that Michael Chandler will beat him in their upcoming fight at UFC 314. A few weeks ago, Dustin said even though he's a Chandler all day, go heavy on the money. In an interview with ESPN, Paddy fired back saying he said something about me the other day, didn't he? Saying it's legends only, and he thinks Chandler will beat me, so I think he should have more than one fight. He looked good in his last fight. I don't understand why you'd retire when you look good, but you know, he must be an idiot. But yeah, I think I beat Dustin Poirier, so I'd love to fight him. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's in reference to Jamahal Hill going off on Alex Pereira's ex-girlfriend for coming out and celebrating Alex's loss to Magomed Ankalaev. It says, "You know you're down bad when Jamahal is telling you to move on from Alex." The second one's from Internet Dumpster. It says, "Everyone joining in to shit on Poetan's ex-girlfriend is a peak bro moment in the UFC." And the final one's from Face Chair. It says, "Ank telling Yuri to go win some fights when he's literally cleared the division aside from Alex is hilarious." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.